Welcome to another weekly maritime video blog. I'm Corey Ransom with International Maritime Security Associates. We still have Justin the intern behind the camera. This week, we are going to delve into the world of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is now in the maritime industry becoming one of the most talked about issues. Throughout the year of 2016, we've seen the IMO come out with what they call, and I am reading from my notes here, interim guidance on maritime cyber risk management. That was put out in June of 2016. The United States Coast Guard has put out guidance on maritime cybersecurity related issues and currently has NAVIC 0517 out for comment. So this is the summer of 2017. If you happen to be watching this video in 2019, probably have already gone through that and new laws and regulations have been put in place. But this is one of the issues that's being talked about across the maritime industry as a whole, whether we're talking cargo handling facilities, passenger handling facilities, cargo lines, cruise lines, and even large yachts. Cybersecurity is becoming a very big topic across the maritime industry. In the summer of 2017, we saw a fairly substantial cyber attack against AP Moller Maersk. There have been cyber attacks that have happened against different smaller shipping companies, against different companies, and the attacks are going to continue to increase. There was a couple of studies that were done in 2016 into 2017, taking a look at some of the top targets for cyber attacks. And the maritime and transportation industry, in most surveys, usually ranks in the top 5 of industries that have the potential or are under cyber attack. So cyber attacks and this type of security are now becoming what we need to look at as part of an overall security umbrella in the maritime industry. Whether you're talking a vessel, whether you're talking a facility, it doesn't matter. We need to take steps to take a look at it. So the first thing that we need to do is to take a look at what our networks look like, whether that's a network on board a vessel, whether that's a network on the shore side. You really need to have a very good idea of what your networks look like, where they're connected, and the structure of that. I always look at it this way, is when it comes to cybersecurity, it's much better to take a look and spend capital now and get your network and your security systems in place to help prevent an attack than to wait to pay on the other side. Because as we've seen with Maersk and with other companies and other industries around the world, paying on the back side of this can sometimes be astronomical compared to what you can pay on the front side. So that's always my recommendation, is to take a look at what your potential risks and threats are and be able to start allocating capital to be able to mitigate those risks and threats, and also have a plan. A lot of times we see in these ransomware attacks is organizations, whether they're state, non-state actors, or hackers on their own, come in and hijack data from a company and then typically ask for a Bitcoin payment to be able to get that data back. One of the things you want to look at is how and when you back up data. So if that happens, you always have a data backup and where that data is backed up. Extremely important to do. Again, whether you have data resting shipboard or shoreside. Attacks can reach your network on board ships just as easily as they can reach your systems on the shore. So you want to take a look at that and then put a plan in place. You may not be able to spend all of the capital that you want to harden your network right now. So put a plan in place to determine what are our biggest risks and threats that we have within that network, and then what capital can we put in place to be able to press forward over the coming months and years to be able to harden that network, because cyber is going to continue to change. The other issue that is a major problem within the maritime industry, more so than anywhere else, is the age of the systems on board the ships. On some vessels, the control systems in certain places on board the ship are still run by Windows XP systems. The Windows XP operating system is no longer supported by Microsoft, so there's no longer security updates or patches to that. So that's becoming a really big issue. And it's not as easy as just saying, hey, we can just switch operating systems because of what those computer systems control on board a vessel. So it's a good way to look at how can I potentially move those systems into a protected area on board my vessel. Potentially, if I can keep those not connected to the internet until I'm able to upgrade those systems or those computers. Cybersecurity is always going to be a problem, whether we're in the maritime industry or out of it. But like we always say in most of our videos, understand what the threats are and put a good plan in place to be able to mitigate those threats, and make sure it's a plan that you can work into. You don't have to do everything all at once, but a plan to be able to look at the coming months and years to keep your operations and your vessels safe. Hey, thanks for joining us this week. We really appreciate all of our viewers and subscribers that we have. If you have any questions about maritime security issues, whether they be shipboard or compliance issues or cybersecurity issues, along with maritime risk management and the regulatory compliance, don't hesitate to reach out to us through our social media, through our website, or through our main office phone number. Hey, make sure you hit the like button for this video and all the other videos you like. We invite you to subscribe to this channel so you get notified when we post our weekly maritime video blogs or when we post videos in our editorials and opinions and life and events page. And make sure you follow us on social media, detailed in the banner above or in the comments section below. We're happy to steer you in the right direction. Make sure you check out last week's video blog, which will be in a box somewhere located near this side of the screen.